the products underneath to move. This is why. Now for this eye, hi guys, welcome back to my channel once again. So today we will be talking about powder application for oily skin, like the people who have oily skin, how they can apply powder, what are the misconceptions around powder application for oily skin and all that. So let's get into it. So I have created a step-by-step kind of tutorial which I will go through with you guys so that you know that what steps you can take in order to apply the powder correctly if you have oily skin. So step 1 is preparation. In preparation, we will start with cleanser and moisturizer. So always start with a clean face, and for that use a cleanser that suits your skin type. I use Simple brand. It is very nice for my skin because I have a sensitive and dry skin thing happening, so I use Simple brand. You can use whatever face wash like cleanser that suits your skin type. Then you're going to moisturize it. For moisturizing, use a lightweight oil-free moisturizer, and when you apply it, like, you do need moisturizer firstly. This is a misconception that you don't need moisturizer because you do need hydration. If you don't apply a moisturizer, then your foundation is going to be absorbed by your skin, which is not good. So you do need moisturizer. Use a lightweight oil-free moisturizer and let it absorb into your skin before going ahead to the next step. Now the next step is primer. As Nikki tutorial says, not to prime is a crime, and she's right. Primers are very essential, like, to your makeup application. Firstly, they give you a very smooth canvas, like a smooth base for your makeup to get onto, and then they like blur your pores and make your makeup stick to your face and helps it to not slide off your face. Like, it keeps the makeup there and it stops the foundation from sliding off your face. That's their actually purpose. So for oily skin, I would say go for a mattifying pore blurring primer or any like gripping primer, because you already have oily skin and you really need to apply a primer that grips to the makeup. So I would suggest either go for, if you're going for a high-end, go for the Porefessional, the Benefit Porefessional primer. It's really good. It really fills in the lines and everything. It's very nice. You can also go for the e.l.f. I have a small size of it, but this is like the e.l.f. Gripping primer, which is Power Grip Primer with 4% niacinamide. This also gives you a very good grip for your makeup. You can also use the e.l.f. Putty Primer. That is also very similar to, I would say, the Porefessional one. It is very good as well. So you can use any of these primers. For me, I am going to use today this one, the niacinamide one, the Power Grip, e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. Not too much. Remember, no product is going to be a lot. Just apply like one-ish drop here. Just pat it on your hands like this, rub them, and then start patting on your face. I have already moisturized, I've done my eyes, and now I'm just going with the primer. I'm just trying to apply it in the areas where I know that my makeup is going to come off, which is basically my nose, my laugh lines, my chin. Now I'm going to go ahead with foundation application. Remember, if you have oily skin, you have to keep everything to a minimal, like less is more. Don't apply a lot of foundation, because the more you put on your face, the more it's going to sweat and drip down. Don't put it directly on your face, but put it on the back of your hand first. Like, one pump is more than enough initially. Take it on the brush, like a little at a time, and then start applying. Okay, this way you will know that how much is it that you need. And always on top of primer, just dab it on your face. Don't just swipe it, because otherwise you're going to move the primer. We don't want to move the primer, we want to stick it onto the primer. So just stick it onto the primer. Okay, so I am back after applying my foundation and my concealer, and now comes the most important part, which is, you guessed it right, powder application. Yes, now we are going to set all of this makeup up. By the way, I've seen a lot of videos where people go and just, like, I've seen like baking or just applying powder all over your face to set the makeup up, because you have oily skin, so you don't want your makeup to move. That's why you're setting it up. wrong, very, very wrong. This is not right. The more powder you put on your face, the more product you put on your face, you're giving your skin less surface to breathe. You can just, if you can understand this, that more layering you do, more sweating your face is going to do. So in order to stop that, you have to keep everything to the minimal. Like, remember, I just applied one pump of the foundation. Blend it very nicely. You can blend it using a beauty blender, your hands or your fingers. You can blend using a brush, whatever is convenient, whatever like is easy for you, do that. But blend it nicely, but only a small amount of foundation. Now let's go ahead with our powder. Now, firstly, just know that what type of powder should you take. There are two types of powders. One is the pressed powder and one is the loose powder. You all know what kind of powders they are. Like the pressed are the compact powders which come with the puff. They're all pressed, they're not loose. You just rub it on and just pat it on your face. Then the other is the loose powder, which already I have here with me, which is like, see, this is the loose powder. Now, if you have oily skin, the best option to go with is loose powder. Loose powders actually cover your face, cover your makeup very smoothly, gives you a very smooth finish, but doesn't add any color to your face. It's not heavy, it's very light, very lightweight. So this is why I prefer loose powders. Pressed powder, you can also use pressed powder, but pressed powders are going to be used for touch-ups, like when you need it on the go, like during the day. Like, I've done my makeup, I've done my foundation, I've done my powder, everything. Now I go out, after an hour or two I feel that I have oil somewhere, so I'm just gonna blot the oil and then I will apply the pressed powder over there, like dabbing motion. I will just apply pressed powder at the place. But loose powder is for the initial application. Basically, apply loose powder. Pressed powders are only for touch-ups. So what are you going to apply the loose powder with? Now, what are you going to apply the loose powder with? I will give you some options. What you can use for loose powder is brushes, which is like this kind of brush for under the eyes. It is a fluffy brush, but an angled kind of a brush, because it really goes in the corner and all that. So this is really good, but it's fluffy. Then the other brush you can use is this, the big one, for the rest of your face. Like, wherever you want to apply the powder, go for a big brush, because you only need a small amount of powder, not a lot of it. So this is a good brush for that. Apart from that, you can also use this, the triangular powder puffs. They are really good to go inside, on the inner corners as well, and they really apply the powder very nicely as well, because they press it really nicely into your skin. So they are a good option as well. I will set one eye with a brush and one eye with this powder puff, so that you can see the difference, if there is any difference. I think both are the same. Whichever is like your cup of tea, go for that one. Now, before applying the powder, I am also going to do one more important step, which is applying a setting spray to my face. This is especially for the people who have oily skin, because if you have oily skin, you need every layer to set up. Ideally, you should have sprayed it after primer as well, but the primer was very good. It was very sticky, so I did not feel the urge to do that. But if you want, you can just go ahead after the primer. Spray your face with the setting spray, oil control setting spray after primer, foundation, and now we are going to go with it again, okay? So this is for you guys. This is going to be like for oily skin people. This should be oil control fixing spray. I am using just a simple base fix one, but you guys are going to go ahead with oil control fixing spray. Okay, now let's go. Let it dry nicely. Once it's dried, then we will go ahead with the powder application. Now let's go ahead with the powder application. So I am going to use this brush on this side of my face. What you're going to do is take the brush, dip it very lightly into the powder. This is how much powder comes up, but what you're going to do is dust it off, all the excess, until you're left with this. It is merely any powder over there, no powder, okay? Now go ahead and apply it under your eye. I'm just patting it. I'm not like swiping it or brushing it off. I'm just patting it, okay? Because I don't want the product underneath to move. This is why. Now for this eye, I'm going to use the powder puff. Take the powder, don't press it too hard in, because otherwise it's going to stick very badly on this. just stick it very nicely and dust the excess off. We'll do the same with the powder puff. Not that much powder. Okay, now let's go ahead. Just pressing it again. Press, 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 press. So you see, this is done. Like, the under eyes are perfectly set. This was with the brush and this was with the powder puff. But they're both done very nicely. They blurred it. But the powder is very minimum. Don't think that I have dry skin, that's why I apply less powder. With oily skin even, just apply minimal amount of powder. Just need to set it there. That's it. You don't need loads of powder, okay? So once I've done that, now I'm going to do go ahead with the rest of my face, which is most probably the T-zone. I apply only in T-zone. I don't apply on the rest of my face. So I'm going to take this brush, take the loose powder and take the brush. Just dip it very lightly into the powder. And you can see there's still a lot of powder. Dust the excess off. You can see it's coming off, right? With the nose, very lightly. Okay. Same brush on your laugh lines, around your mouth, on your upper lips. And remember, you have to blend it nicely. Blend it, just do it like this and keep running it over your nose. You have to blend it so that it does not look patchy, okay? Taking a little more, just place it on the forehead, just really blend it up. Whatever is left on the brush, I'm not going to take any more product. I'm just going to go ahead on my under my jawline, like over here. You can see that I've not applied a lot of powder, just a little, like as much as it was needed, and that's it. Why is that? Because firstly, you don't need any powder on the cheeks, okay? You're going to apply a blush on anyway, but plus you don't need powder on the cheeks because cheeks are already drier. So they can dry up, they can patch up, they can go cakey. When you put powder on top of foundation, it can go a bit cakey as well. So avoid putting a lot of powder. Stop with the conception of over powdering your face. Don't over powder, please. Just apply a very minimal amount under your eyes and focus on your T-zone, but very small amount. Obviously, this is not going to last you all day, like the powder, I mean. It is not going to last you all day if you have extremely oily skin. What you have to do is, like, throughout the day, and if you see any oil on your face, just do this one thing. So take a tissue paper, or you can also take the blotting paper. Just take this, put it on your nose and just nicely blot it. Don't wipe it off, tapping it, like tap, tap, tap. Then go ahead, tap, 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 tap. Whatever oil is there is going to come off, okay? And then after you're done with just taking that off, take your pressed powder, whichever pressed powder you're taking, take your powder puff that comes with the pressed powder, or you can take this one as well, and just take the powder and gently just start dabbing it onto your areas where you blotted already, okay? Just tap, more powder, little powder, tap, and that's it. That's all you need. You don't need loads of powder. Don't think that applying loads of powder is going to prevent you from touching up. You need to touch up throughout the day. This is a given, but just try to keep the powder to a minimum. Now let's go ahead with the next step. So now that we have our powder done, we are going to spray our face one more time with the same oil control fixing spray. Let it dry. So guys, I'm back after finishing my whole look. So at the end, when everything is done, you need to go ahead and spray with the fixing spray, the oil control or mattifying fixing spray, setting spray, one more time. Now everything is nicely set and everything is nicely locked in and you're good to go. Your makeup is going to stay for quite some time. Like, it is not going to melt off your face. Obviously you have oily skin, so you will be able to see oil at places like nose, wherever you oil up, you are going to see that. For that, I've already told you, just take a blotting paper or a tissue paper, blot it down and just use a pressed powder to just pat the powder lightly in and you will be good to go. So these are all the tips that I wanted to give you. Now lastly, I would say that when you are done with the day, you are done with the function, whatever it is, just come home and nicely cleanse your face as well. Like take all the makeup off, double cleanse your face, take it all off, put a nice moisturizer in, a night cream, whatever you do, whatever your night routine is, just do that so that you can prevent clogged pores and also any breakouts, as in any pimples or anything like that. Do remember to properly take your makeup off as well. So yes guys, this was it for this video. If you think I brought something to the table, then please do give me a big thumbs up. Please do comment below and please do subscribe to my channel. All of this really helps me out. It lets me know that you guys actually like my content, and it motivates me to make more content for you guys, more useful content for you guys. And thank you for the support so far guys. I really appreciate it. So yes, I will see you in the next video very soon. Till then, take care, stay safe, stay happy, and stay connected. Bye bye. Love you.